Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have an almost supernatural ability to understand complex ideas, read between the lines, and see connections that others miss? Well, buckle up, because we're about to dive into the fascinating world of personality types and uncover why INFJ might just be the smartest cookies in the jar. Hey there, personality enthusiasts and curious minds. Today we're tackling a question that's been buzzing around the internet and psychology circles. Are INFJ really the smartest personality type out there? Now, I know what you're thinking. Hold up, isn't intelligence hard to measure? And you'd be right. But stick with me, because we're about to unpack some mind-blowing insights that might just change the way you think about intelligence and personality. Let's kick things off by breaking down what makes INFJ tick. For those of you who might be scratching your heads wondering what on earth an INFJ is, don't worry, we've got you covered. INFJ stands for introverted, intuitive, feeling, and judging. It's one of the 16 personality types identified by the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator (MBTI), a popular personality assessment tool. Now, INFJ are often called the advocate or the counselor, and for good reason. These folks have a unique blend of traits that set them apart from the crowd. They're introspective, imaginative, and have an uncanny ability to read people and situations. But does this make them the smartest? Let's dig deeper. First off, let's talk about that introversion. INFJ are introverts, which means they gain energy from spending time alone and diving deep into their thoughts. This introspective nature allows them to process information on a whole different level. While extroverts might be out there collecting experiences and data from the external world, INFJ are busy connecting the dots in their rich inner landscape. Think about it. When you're constantly taking time to reflect and analyze, you're bound to develop a deeper understanding of the world around you. It's like INFJ have this internal supercomputer that's always running in the background, making connections and uncovering patterns that others might miss. But here's where it gets really interesting, that N for intuition. INFJ aren't just smart in the traditional book learning sense. They've got this almost mystical ability to understand abstract concepts and see the big picture. It's like they've got a crystal ball that lets them peer into the future and anticipate outcomes that others can't even imagine. This intuitive nature means INFJ are often steps ahead of everyone else. They're the ones in the meeting who've already considered all the possible outcomes and come up with solutions before anyone else has even grasped the problem. It's not just about being quick on their feet, it's about having a deep, intuitive understanding of how things work and how they're all connected. Now, let's talk about that F feeling. You might be wondering, wait a minute, isn't being emotional the opposite of being smart? But hold your horses, because this is where INFJ really shine. Their feeling nature doesn't make them less intelligent, it actually supercharges their brain power in a unique way. INFJ have this incredible emotional intelligence that allows them to understand and navigate complex social situations with ease. They can pick up on subtle cues and undercurrents that others might miss entirely. It's like they've got an emotional radar that's always scanning their environment, giving them insights that go way beyond what's on the surface. This emotional intelligence isn't just about being nice or getting along with people, although INFJ are pretty great at that too. It's about understanding human nature on a fundamental level. And when you think about it, isn't that one of the most valuable forms of intelligence there is? After all, so much of success in life comes down to understanding and working well with others. But wait, there's more. That J for judging doesn't mean INFJ are judgmental. Instead, it points to their preference for structure and decision-making. INFJ aren't just dreamers lost in their own thoughts, they're doers who can turn their insights into action. This ability to not only come up with brilliant ideas but also implement them is what sets INFJ apart from other smart types who might get stuck in analysis paralysis. INFJ have this unique combination of vision and practicality that allows them to bridge the gap between imagination and reality. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but where's the proof? Well, while intelligence is notoriously difficult to measure, there are some interesting studies and observations that support the idea of INFJ being particularly bright cookies. For starters, INFJ are often overrepresented in fields that require high levels of abstract thinking and problem solving. You'll find a disproportionate number of INFJ in careers like psychology, counseling, writing, and even scientific research. These are fields that demand not just book smarts, but also creativity, insight, and the ability to see connections that others miss. Furthermore, many INFJ report feeling like they're on a different wavelength from those around them. They often describe experiences of understanding complex concepts quickly or having insights that seem to come out of nowhere. While this isn't hard scientific evidence, it does suggest that INFJ have a unique way of processing information that sets them apart. But here's where it gets really interesting. INFJ often excel in areas that traditional IQ tests don't measure. Sure, many INFJ are bookworms who'd ace a standardized test, but their real strengths lie in areas like emotional intelligence, creative problem-solving, and long-term strategic thinking. Think about it this way: if you were stuck on a desert island, who would you want with you? Someone who could recite pi to 100 decimal places, or someone who could intuitively understand the island's ecosystem, predict weather patterns, and come up with creative solutions for survival? INFJ have that rare combination of analytical skills and intuitive understanding that makes them invaluable in complex, real-world situations. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Are we saying that all INFJ are geniuses and everyone else is, well, not? Absolutely not. Intelligence comes in many forms, and every personality type has its own strengths and weaknesses. What we're saying is that INFJ have a unique cognitive makeup that lends itself to a particular kind of intelligence, one that's especially valuable in our complex, interconnected world. It's also worth noting that being an INFJ doesn't automatically make you a brainiac. Like any personality type, there's a wide range of individuals within the INFJ category. Some might be academic superstars, while others might struggle in traditional educational settings. The key is that INFJ have the potential for a particular kind of intelligence that, when developed, can be incredibly powerful. So, what does this mean for you if you're an INFJ? First off, pat yourself on the back. You've got some pretty awesome cognitive tools at your disposal. But remember, potential is just that, potential. To really tap into your INFJ superpowers, you need to nurture and develop your natural abilities. This might mean taking time for deep reflection and journaling to hone your intuitive insights. It could involve challenging yourself with complex problems or abstract concepts to flex those mental muscles. And don't forget about developing your emotional intelligence. Practice empathy, learn to read people, and work on understanding the nuances of human behavior. For those of you who aren't INFJ, don't despair. Remember, every personality type has its own unique strengths. The key is to understand and appreciate the different kinds of intelligence out there. Maybe you're an ESTP with lightning-fast reflexes and the ability to think on your feet. Or perhaps you're an INTJ with an unparalleled ability to create complex systems and strategies. The beauty of personality psychology is that it helps us understand and appreciate the diverse ways people think and process information. It's not about creating a hierarchy of intelligence, but about recognizing that different types of intelligence are valuable in different contexts. In fact, one of the most intelligent things we can do is learn to appreciate and work with people who think differently from us. INFJ might be great at seeing the big picture and understanding human nature, but they might struggle with details or quick decision-making. That's where other personality types can step in and complement their strengths. As we wrap up this deep dive into the world of INFJ and intelligence, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. We've seen how the unique combination of introversion, intuition, feeling, and judging creates a cognitive style that's particularly well-suited to our complex, interconnected world. We've explored how INFJ ability to see patterns, understand human nature, and bridge the gap between imagination and reality sets them apart. We've looked at the evidence, both anecdotal and scientific, that suggests INFJ might indeed have a unique kind of intelligence. But perhaps most importantly, we've recognized that intelligence isn't a one-size-fits-all concept. The INFJ's particular brand of smarts, intuitive, empathetic, and visionary, is just one of many valuable forms of intelligence. So, are INFJ the smartest personality type? Well, that depends on how you define smart. If we're talking about the ability to understand complex systems, see hidden connections, and intuitively grasp human nature, then INFJs certainly have a strong claim to the title. But let's not get caught up in labels or rankings. Instead, let's appreciate the beautiful diversity of human cognition. Whether you're an INFJ or any other personality type, you have your own unique strengths and abilities. The key is to understand, appreciate, and develop those strengths, and to learn how to work effectively with those who think differently from you. In the end, true intelligence isn't just about what's in your head, it's about how you use it to understand, connect with, and improve the world around you. And in that sense, we all have the potential to be pretty darn smart. So, the next time you meet an INFJ, take a moment to appreciate their unique cognitive style. And if you are an INFJ, embrace your natural abilities and use them to make a positive impact on the world. After all, in a world full of complex problems, we need all kinds of intelligence to create a brighter future. And there you have it, folks, a deep dive into the fascinating world of INFJ and intelligence. Whether you're an INFJ yourself, know one, or are just curious about personality psychology, I hope this exploration has given you some food for thought. Remember, in the grand tapestry of human cognition, every thread is valuable. So let's celebrate our differences, learn from each other, and use our collective intelligence to tackle the challenges of tomorrow. Until next time, keep thinking, keep questioning, and keep growing.